What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another video. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing swing trading, but real quick, as always, if you guys do find value in this video, consider clicking that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. But without further ado, let's hop into the video. So real quick, before we hop into the video, in case you guys did not know, I do have a 450-page book on Amazon, The New Age of Technical Analysis. So if you guys do want to check out the book, I will be leaving the link down in the description. But anyway, so what we're going to do today is we are going to go over my swing trading strategy, and I am going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks when it comes to swing trading. So the very first tip with swing trading is you always want to look at the third Friday of every month. That is going to be the monthly expiration, and that is typically where the swing traders are sitting. So for me personally, what I swing trade, and I have a whole Twitter thread on why I swing trade what I do, but I don't necessarily swing trade stuff like Nvidia, Amazon, Apple, so on and so forth. I prefer to swing stuff like CLF. Some other things I'm looking at right now is healthcare, stuff like BLDR, EFX, SOYB. Now, the reason being why I swing trade these specific names is it comes down to the option Greek. So things like Amazon, Nvidia, they have high premiums if you do want to swing them the third Friday of the month. Plus the delta really isn't that high and the gamma's not that high. Plus there's a higher theta on them. However, with stuff like SOYB and some of the other names I listed, it has a very high delta, very high gamma, and a very low theta with cheap contracts. So me specifically, what I look for is I look for squeezes on either the daily, weekly, or 3-day time frame, and those are my highest probability setups. So I already set up some scanners that would pick up on some of these names that are squeezing, trading above my moving averages. So if you guys do want a link to one of those scanners, DM me on Instagram at carhorns, and I will be sending it out. Screenshot of my profile somewhere over here. Make sure not to DM a fake profile. But yes, if you DM me, I will give you the squeeze scanner. So let's try to pull something up today on that scanner. Okay, so it picked up on TAL, which is it's only a $7 stock, so I wouldn't be swinging this, but as you can see, we are squeezing on the daily time frame, and then if we go to the weekly time frame, it is also squeezing there. So that's what this scanner is specifically made for, to pick up on stocks that are squeezing and are above the moving averages. Ideally, I know with my strategy, my swing trading strategy, it works best going to the upside. So that's why I have that scanner programmed to pick up on upside squeezes. Sometimes it will pick up on a stock that's squeezing to the downside, but personally, I don't swing trade too many puts unless it's on SPY and QQQ. Again, that's just my swing trading strategy and how I use it. But so when we are picking up on names like this, again, like NTAS or TAL, something like XLI ended up popping up. So if I were to be looking at a swing here, I would be looking at the third Friday of every month because, you know, with the stocks like Apple and Amazon, there is liquidity every single week in the weekly options. However, I found that the stocks that these scanners pick up on, they don't have liquidity in the weeklies. They only have liquidity in the monthlies. And again, that's where the swing traders are sitting. So we are going to be looking at the monthly expirations. So now, breaking down my strategy and kind of what I look for in a swing. So what I have on this screen right here is I have the 21 EMA and the 34 EMA. Then I have my on balance volume, my stochastic slow, and then my TTM squeeze pro. Again, if you guys want to learn more on how to use these indicators, make sure to check out my book where I break them down into full detail. But I'm just going to give you guys the basics of what I look for in a swing. So if we go back to that TAL, because that actually looked good if it wasn't only a $6 stock. But essentially what I am looking for in my highest probability swings is, as we can see on TAL, it's holding above that daily 21 and 34 EMA. Again, I'm looking for setups either on the weekly, daily, or 3-day, and whichever time frame has the best setup, that's the one that I'm going to pay attention to. So looking at the daily time frame, this has the best setup as of right now. So what I'm looking for is for the stock to build a base above the 21 and 34. Ideally, I like to see it hugging this area right here. So once I notice that, I am automatically interested in the stock. Now, the next thing I look for is going to be the red dots on the squeeze. Again, if you use a scanner that I will be sending you, again, if you DM me on Instagram, it's automatically going to pick up on a squeeze. So if we're looking at TAL today, we have a red dot with the light blue momentum on the TTM squeeze. Trading above the moving averages, I would be interested if TAL came back down to that daily 21 and 34 EMA, and then it ended up building a base. Now, after that, I'm also looking at my stochastic slow. I'm looking for any recent buy signals, maybe even a sell signal that could keep me out of the trade. But let's just say that TAL came up today and it ended up giving a buy signal on the stochastic. Well, okay, that makes me even more interested in this swing trade setup. And then finally, after that, I'm looking at this on balance volume, and essentially what the on balance volume does is it measures money inflow versus money outflow. If there's more inflow, it's going to get higher readings. If there's more outflow, it's going to give negative readings. So let's take a look at a swing trade that I actually ended up taking on TCOM, which this is a really good example of what I look for in an A+ setup. So if we're looking at TCOM on the daily time frame, notice how it was building a base above that daily 21 and 34 EMA. At the same time, yellow momentum on the squeeze turned into light blue, red dots into orange dots. Then on top of that, it ended up breaking above this daily trend line right here. At the same time, you got that stochastic buy signal, and the on balance volume set a new high the day before TCOM was able to break above that trend line. So that to me is an A+ setup, and that is ideally what I'm looking for. We also had a swing trade on GIS where it was the same exact setup. So if we're looking at GIS daily time frame, 1 hit, 2 hit, 3, 4, 5. And then if we look at the indicators, you can see that GIS was holding above that daily 21 and 34, which is bullish. Plus on top of that, we have the light blue momentum with the red dots on the TTM squeeze. The day that it broke out, we got that stochastic buy signal, and then the on balance volume clearly set a new high to the same point that it was over here when GIS was trading at 81.27, but at this point it was trading at 78.5, and I'm pretty sure this swing trade went like 200%. It was a crazy swing within just 1, 2, 3, 4 days. And then let's look at one more that I ended up taking last year on CVS, because this was actually a really good setup as well. So if we're looking at CVS, but this time on the weekly time frame, remember, the higher the time frame, the more important it's going to be. As we can see with CVS, it started to build that base above that weekly 21 EMA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Plus on top of that, light blue momentum with the orange dots. On balance volume set a new high once it started to break out. And then at the same time, there was also a stochastic buy signal. So everything was hinting that CVS wanted to go up in price. Now, if you break it down to the daily time frame, it was the same exact thing. Stochastic buy signal, all balance volume was breaking out, TTM squeeze, trading above the 21 and 34 EMA, and we actually ended up getting into this swing trade the day before it broke out, just because the indicators and everything else was hinting that CVS did want to break out and give the continuation to the upside. So that was an absolutely beautiful swing as well. Yeah, that's a quick rundown on my entire swing trading strategy, as well as the contracts that I look to trade. So as always, if you guys do want to see more swing trading videos, make sure to like the video, comment down below. And again, if you guys do want to learn more about my strategy, make sure to check out my book, The New Age of Technical Analysis, on Amazon. As always, everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.